It has been a long day this Sunday. I hope everyone's had a really good day, whether you were out working like we were or just relaxing at home, getting chores done, family dinner, gathering, whatever. I just hope everyone's been having a good day. Hey, Becca, welcome. How's your Sunday? I just wanted to do a Sunday drive home chat. We literally just finished our working Spark, and it was a really good day. I mean, it was just one of those days where things were falling into place, right time and everything. I had a mild case of, oh no, sorry to hear that. It wasn't from those tacos, was it? That was from Friday, wasn't it?
No. No, that was that yesterday? No.
But
That's Friday.
yeah, I mean, like I said, it was just one of those days that the timing was just right. My hubby and I, we figured that the shopping orders on Spark, where
Behind us, they were flashing me as I turned the corner.
I have no idea. Hi, Still, welcome. I guess it's morning where you're at, because it's 7:30 p.m. here in Texas. But between the hubby and I, we were just getting, offer after offer for Spark shopping orders. Not the tacos, but I had a chicken wrap yesterday, which was the last thing I ate. Oh man,
See, chicken's bad for you.
that's just not good. But sorry to hear that, Becca.
Catch up or what? What are you doing? What do you want? You're flashing me for a reason.
Somebody was flashing you?
Yeah, this car right here.
Maybe it was just the bump.
No. They were at the stoplight and they were flashing their light after me. I figured. They don't know me, so they just kept on going. So, whatever.
But as I mentioned, I'm here in Texas. So,
Texas.
but but like I said, we just finished our shift. If you're just now, joining my live stream, welcome. Hope you've been having a good weekend also. We just finished our Spark shift. And that's actually just one of the things I wanted to talk about. Uh-oh. Did it glitch? 'Cause why is it saying
Glitched.
you're live? But it's small glitch, but I see you. Okay. Thank you, Becca. But the area that we've been driving to, it's like we are still we've seen a big influx of new drivers to the area, to that specific store that we also like to favor. But what they've also been doing, and it's not just this store, we've been hearing that, a lot of other stores in our zone, in our home zone, are finally, management, the stores, are finally stepping up and trying to do something about the fraud accounts, the scammers. Because not only are they doing random cart checks, when the app tells them to, that it's a random cart check, but they even do that whether it says it or not. They're doing more ID checks, and and talking to one of the associates right before, when I was checking out, one person had to leave a cart full of groceries because they didn't have their ID. And when I went back after doing another order, I had asked, when I came across that same associate, hey Presley, welcome. How are you? Just doing a Sunday drive home while talking about my favorite app. But I had asked her, if that driver ever came back. And she said no. So of course they had to put away all those groceries. And hey, Sunny. Welcome. How you doing? Just talking about Spark and what's been going on in our home zone as well as the zone that we like to drive to. But she said the person never came back, at least for that cart. But a couple of orders later, my husband noticed that same woman that was turned away because she didn't have her ID. And it looked like she had an order. So, it could have just been another one of those situations where the person just happened to not have their ID or an ID, but it happens. Sometimes we forget our wallet. So it happens. And
I did that yesterday.
because someone, did the same thing where they left home without their wallet. So that could have been as easily, him to be turned away because, he didn't have his ID. Even though they've checked our IDs, even if it's the same associate, they just got to make sure they're still leading by example, I guess, showing the other drivers that, they're checking everybody's ID, not just random.
I'd have pulled up my Facebook page if they had tried to ID me yesterday. But
I leave my ID in my car. Usually don't take it out. Oh, does your Sunny? Does your store not? Are they not IDing? That's okay. Presley's like, I'd like to send you a hat of the right team.
Nope, that is the right team.
This is the right team. Raiders.
Even if I am disgruntled with them, they're still the right team.
So, Sunny, do you see, or have you experienced any of the issues there in your area? Whether you're seeing suspicious, Spark drivers, or even the fact that when it comes to the app itself, because of the whole bot thing, you're getting a notification, but nothing shows up on the app. Hi, Chris. Welcome. I'm not sure if you're a gig worker or not, or if you're familiar with the Spark app, which is Walmart. It's linked to Walmart, but that's kind of like what we're talking about right now. And the other thing is too, is that yesterday when we were doing a shopping order, or when I was doing a shopping order, as I was walking up to the register, I see a woman leave, with a cart full of groceries. And as soon as I was done checking out, I did a quick potty run before leaving the store. And just as I was getting ready to walk out the store, I see that same woman coming back in. It couldn't, because I didn't have a lot of items. So it couldn't have been more than 5 minutes. Notification, but nothing on the screen. I just thought it was too slow to click on it. That right there, from what I've been told, is a sign that your area might be affected by people using bots. The other sign is you get the notification and you see a blip on your Spark app. You know, it's like a flash of something, but you have no idea what it was. And that was the other sign that there's someone in your area that is using a bot grabber.
In our area, up in Georgetown, we weren't getting even
Chris, have you
round robin thing either.
The what?
When we were in Georgetown, we wouldn't even get round robins.
Okay. Chris, do you have you applied to be a Spark driver? I haven't seen that blip on my screen. Yeah, that was one thing that was pretty bad in our home zone. Sorry. That was one thing that was pretty bad in our home zone. Those two things that we noticed in the app. I mean, we could be right there in the Walmart parking lot because, you know, I've been told that, yeah, sometimes you're going to get the notification, but if there's someone that's closer to the store, they're probably going to get it like a second before you and accept it, and that's the reason why, you know, you don't see it. But if we're sitting in the Walmart parking lot and we get the notification and we're looking right at the app, but nothing's showing up, you know, how can they explain that? And then especially because, like I said, where you get the blip on your screen. My daughter, she has been on the Spark waiting list since her and her husband were stationed in El Paso here in Texas, and now they're stationed here at Fort Cavazos. And but she reapplied when they moved over here, but she's still on the wait list, which I was surprised, especially after the last several weeks. You know, we've been seeing new drivers appearing at the store we tend to favor. Yeah, no, that's kind of normal. When you do see an order pop up and then it disappears, that means you've got people that are actively staring at their Walmart app and just hit accept every time an order comes through, just in case, you know, especially if it's a good one. If they see $30, $40, $50, you know, they're not looking at anything else other than the dollar amount. So they'll hit accept, and that's why sometimes you'll see it reappear, because either they came across there's way too many items for the pay, or you know, the miles are just too long for the pay, you know, any one of those factors, and then that's why you'll see it come back. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking, because there are times when we know orders, you know, are flowing pretty, and we'll be staring at our phones, you know, but we still try not to hit it, you know, too quickly, because you know, that affects your cancel. I forgot what happens exactly if your cancel rate gets too high, but basically you might be suspended, I guess. But that's how that's how I feel sometimes when the orders are just rolling in, and you know, it's like a game of slapjack. You know, who's gonna be first to hit that accept button? It's the same thing when I'm doing Instacart. You know, I'm staring at the app, and if I see a high dollar amount come in, you know, I don't always pay attention to the amount of items, but that doesn't happen often when it comes to Instacart. But my biggest thing is that, you know, they are finally, I mean, even though I'm still here, just at least for where we're at, for the zones that we work, our home zone and the zone that we travel to, that's about 35 minutes away from where we live. So they are finally, you know, doing something about it. Now, we still don't do it in our home zone only because there's more drivers than there are orders in our home zone. So even though they are getting a little better with handling the whole situation with the fraud accounts and the scammers and whatnot, there's just still too many, it's not exactly a small town anymore, but still, for the size of our town and only having one Walmart, and the next closest Walmart, is 25 minutes away, 30 minutes away. So, yeah, that's just too many Spark drivers, fighting for those type of orders. But so we'll see. So at least, if we ever get lucky enough that they build another Walmart near, in our town, but just like on the other end or something like that, maybe we will stay in our home zone to do Spark, but because it's very easy for where we drive to, that, we can do, there's like 5 different super Walmarts and at least there's 3 neighborhood Walmarts that we can bounce around, and they're all within a 20-minute radius. So that's one of the reasons why we like going to that zone. If I do get on Spark, it probably won't be until fall because my area has a decent amount of college students. Oh wow, yeah. So then you're definitely competing with a lot of people trying to get onto the Spark platform. But I don't know if it's something you've already tried, but the other reason why I really like using the Spark app is because you can travel with it. When my husband and I first signed up for it, he actually signed up in our home zone. No, I'm sorry.
No, I signed up.
He signed up for the Austin zone, and he got on it right away. When I signed up for it in our home zone. And it took me maybe about 2 weeks before I got notification to continue, finishing my application, and I was on the Spark app. But, so that's one of the things we suggested to our daughter was to sign up in a different zone and then just work, where she's at. And see if you can get onto the app that way. Because like I said, that's one of the benefits I like about the Spark app is that you can travel. Okay, so it's about the next zone for me that I would Spark in is about 25 to 30 minutes away. There are others, but I am not familiar with those areas. Yeah, it's I know how that is. Especially when we were doing Spark in South Carolina. My husband's family lives out that way, so we kind of, had some ideas in some of the areas, but still, for the most part, it was all brand new, and we don't know where exactly where we were going to be driving to when we accepted those offers. So. But at least for today, like I was saying, in case you weren't there at the start of the stream, but we had a really good day on Spark today. Not one, we didn't do any yesterday, did we? Curbside, or did we have one? No. Yesterday we had at least one curbside that we accepted, but otherwise it was mostly shopping orders. But today it was nothing but shopping orders. And this is just a quick PSA announcement. If you are doing gig work, if you're heavily using your phone, and especially if you don't always get the chance to be charging it, bring a battery pack with you.
Because the Spark app kills your battery fast.
So, despite Spark having a lot of, benefits and upsides to it, one downside to the Spark app is that it uses so much battery on your phone. So, this was actually the second time we had an issue where while we were in the middle of doing a shopping, the first time it was my fault, and it was through Instacart though. My phone was getting ready to die, and I had to pause my shopping just so my husband could take my phone out to the car and let it charge for a few minutes before I could continue. And it was towards the end, actually. I was just getting ready to go to the register, so I just needed it to have enough power to finish that part. But for my husband's part, he was almost halfway through shopping, so he still had at least 8 or so items to go before finishing his shopping, but he was down to like 2%, so he couldn't do anything else, and it even basically died on him before he could cancel the order. So hey Ty, welcome. Oh, is that why my battery is struggling? I think Instacart is worse. I don't
know about that.
I really
Spark
think it's
bad.
Yeah.
Spark is bad.
Whenever-
It freaking pulls a lot of power.
It does. And because I did a battery, basically, what do they call it?
Battery health check.
A battery health check on my husband's phone. And it showed, what apps are using the most battery and the percentage. And what was at the top of the list? Spark. I think it was like 40% or 50 something percent. So it utilizes a lot. And especially when I'm multi-apping, it's the same, with my phone. That's why I try to make sure I'm all plugging it up. Because if you're running multiple apps at the same time, that pulls even more power from your phone. Hafa Adai! Hafa Adai! So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you are running Spark, or if you're looking to start, to become a Spark driver, make sure you keep your phone charged. And if not, because sometimes we don't even pay attention to it, and bring a battery pack with you. So while you're shopping, you're still keeping your phone charged. Because he ended up having, we went out to the car and plugged up his phone, and he was able to turn his phone back on to finish canceling the order. And then I ended up getting it. So it kind of still worked out. He canceled the order, and I, maybe like had gone by, and I was like, oh well, I guess it must have been offered to somebody else. And then next thing you know, the offer appeared to me, because it was on a timer. So I was like, oh cool, there it is. So I was able to finish that. Thank you, Presley, for doing that. Yeah, don't forget to smash that like button, please. Baby J, where are you watching from? I don't know if that's
I thought they watched an American. That's why they.
Yeah, that's why I'm not sure, because it says NQ, and I can't see the let's see. You're back. Oh, it is. Hafa Adai. She's hiding her face, but I can see. I see you. So another Texas in the house. What else? But as I was also saying, we had such an excellent, day to day, because we are both working at the same time, running our Spark app. Our minimum goal is, to make $200. And our typical work week is Wednesday through Sunday. So, what?
Camaro.
Oh.
69 Camaro.
That was a 69 Camaro?
There was.
Okay, I missed it. Sorry.
Well, I didn't. I ain't missing it.
I know. But I think only one other time this week we actually made our goal and hit $200. And for tonight, we also hit our goal and a little bit more. I mean, I think if we had stayed and continued working, I think we could have easily done $300 today. But we're ready to go home, get something to eat and relax and enjoy what's left of our Sunday. So, but I think, do you remember what the total was? I think we did about,
I think it was 2.
Never mind.
Don't question my authority.
I think we did about 250.
I think it was 246, but then that I did get paid some for that shopping that I had to cancel.
Yeah, so I think we did about 250 something, and we started working about 11:45, so we did about 7 hours. We definitely worked our butt off, because in shopping, you're doing a lot of walking around. I mean, quite a few of those were less than 10 items, so, but still, you're getting your steps in. Are you still looking at?
What is that thing?
I told you, it's just not a battery operated. We've got someone here in our neighborhood that's getting rid of a lot of stuff. Do you see a plug? I see a plug.
I see a cord, but
Why don't you go check it out then?
no, I don't want to check it. I don't even know.
Zoe will probably want it.
Of course, but I don't have the pickup either, so I have to pick up maybe. I'm picking up.
And I'm surprised if it says free. If it says free, why hasn't anybody taken it?
Because people don't like to work out.
It looks like it was a treadmill, or one of those treadmills that is not powered. It only moves while you're walking. But then I did end up seeing a cord, so I don't know. If it was free, that they put it out there like yesterday, or was the day before? No, yesterday. And nobody's taking it, so.
They taking everything else they had out there. Had a lot of stuff out there.
Oh my goodness. End of the day. Around here, people snatch things up quick. Oh yeah. You want to know what's crazy is that where my sister lives, there were times, the one time that we were helping her clear out her garage, so there was lots of trash. And I mean, there was maybe like 6 bags of trash. I mean, actual trash. And they mentioned, she talked about how that people will go around and just snatch things up. You saw it?
No,
Did you see it? Okay.
Did you see it?
I wasn't looking.
Okay.
And they weren't kidding. They had like 6 or 7. We were just talking about Spark and how we did for the day, and how it's better there. But they weren't kidding. I mean, sometimes my brother-in-law would actually have to go out into the yard and tell them, to leave it alone because it's just straight trash. That it's not going to be anything worth looking at, because all they'll do is they'll go over there and rip the bags open just so they can search through what's in the bags. So, but hey, Lexi, so it is crazy that in that area, when you put stuff out in the yard, even if it looks like just bag of trash, you're gonna get people that are gonna go through it because I guess what is that saying? One man's trash is another man's treasure. But we had a really good day today, Lexi. We did. We hit our goal. We did over 200. Oh, so it's Kat that's watching. Okay. You're just using Jay's account. So it was a really good day. So 2 of the 5 days, we actually hit our goal of $200. So that was really good. But the other thing that I had brought up for those of you guys that are just coming into the live, if you are a gig worker and if you're looking into doing Spark or even Instacart, make sure, this is again just a repeat of the PSA announcement, make sure your phone is, I would say 70% or higher, trying to keep it charged 70% or higher, because Spark, out of all the apps that we use, is number one at draining your battery very quickly. Instacart probably is not too much farther from below that, but Spark is really bad. It is really bad, and especially for the multi-appers like myself. The only other apps my husband tends to pull up on his phone are not gig apps, but he's got his radio station and a game he'll be playing while we're waiting for orders to come in. So, I mean, as we mentioned earlier, the Spark app killed his phone in the middle of a shopping. So we had to come out to the car to plug up his phone and charge for a minute or two, just long enough to turn his phone back on and cancel the order. So make sure your phone is nice and charged, or bring a battery pack. Yeah, and we have a battery pack, but it's in our car, and because we're in our daughter's car right now, and the battery pack that they did have in here is not in here anymore. So I guess you guys took it out, Lexi. But I was trying to think. And at first I thought it had to do with gig work, but it didn't. Thanks for doing the live. I enjoyed chatting with you. All right, thanks for joining too, Sunny. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe out there if you're going to continue working. Okay. Well, that makes sense, Lexi. Thank you. Well, we're home now. I'm just sitting out here while I continue the live stream. Raiders! I'm going to keep wearing this Raiders hat. Just for you, Presley. I'm trying to find also a plain hat. I did get a Guam hat, but, I have a big head already, and I didn't like the way it made me feel like my head was even bigger. So, All right. Oops. Oh, and here's something else, actually, because I said, the whole thing about safety. Um, Especially for those of you guys, he's a big gig tuber. I don't know if you guys know Pedro, Mr. Bet on You, and how a couple of days ago, he was talking about how he's been deactivated on DoorDash, and I was watching one of his videos earlier today as to why he was deactivated, and some of the things that he had said in there. It's stuff that I've kind of heard in the past, especially about Instacart. So, I mean, and I've got it when it first happened with Instacart towards the end of last year. I altered about the way I was doing stuff, and showing stuff. Um, Especially when it came to Instacart. They don't want you showing their app. They don't want you showing, full screenshots of the customer's information or anything like that. And so I definitely toned down what I was doing when it came to that. But apparently, based off of what he was saying, is that they could be doing the same thing with DoorDash. That they are monitoring other, content creators that are also working on, that do DoorDash, and the information that they're showing, whether it be on live streams, because a lot of us, and especially here, I do it here lately, where I'm doing a live stream as I'm working. And I've seen it in other videos. I mean, even when I first started doing gig work, a year and a half ago, and people would be showing the entire, when an order comes in, and I've done it. I would flash the screen of the order that just comes in. They got Chuck deactivated the other day. Yeah, I was just watching his too. He got himself deactivated. And so it's just crazy how some of these, more well-known gig tubers are being deactivated. But it's like, at least in both those cases with Chuck and Pedro, they kind of had a hand in it. And it's the same to where now I'm concerned, I'm not monetized yet, but with your support, I can get there. But, so it's another thing that I'm going to have to tread lightly now. That I'm going to have to, do things a little bit different. Because there are times that I like to, I will show the offer. Because I don't want to just say, yeah, I got this offer. It was amazing. It's $20 for 3 miles and yada, yada. I want to give some type of proof, to show that, yeah, I did get that offer. So I just have to be very careful, especially when I'm doing a live stream, because I noticed that that's what I was doing when I was on that DoorDash offer and I was shopping in Target. I was showing the app because the phone that I was streaming from was hanging, was on my neck holder, and so I would have the other phone that had the app right in front of it, so everybody was able to see what I was seeing. So that stuff, if you are a Dasher, or any of the apps that you're using, so just a heads up from what I was seeing from other gig tubers that are doing DoorDash, is that we have to be careful now about what we're showing. Especially, and that's why sometimes you've seen it to where when we're getting ready to pull up to a customer's house, I turn the camera around. And even when I'm recording, when it's not a live stream and I'm walking up to the customer's house, I try not to give too much. I'm really just pointing the phone down, and I have the food or the groceries right in front of my phone. So that's what you're seeing me do, is just walking up towards the house. You know, and I've seen other gig tubers to where, and I've done it in the past, to where you're pulling up because you have your camera sitting on your dash and it's pointing out, and it shows where the customer lives. It shows their address and everything. So I'm definitely gonna have to really be mindful of what I'm doing. You know, limit to the information that I'm showing. I mean, not that I'm using DoorDash as no, I don't use DoorDash nowhere near as often as I used to. So, but still moving forward, especially when I'm doing my long form videos and or any of the videos that I'm going to be posting on YouTube. I just have to be careful. So that's another thing. Again, if you are a content creator and you do gig work, just keep that in mind moving forward, because like I said, I've seen Instacart. I saw that was an issue last year, and I did alter the way I was doing things with my videos based off that information that I was, you know, I saw other YouTubers talking about, and now I'm seeing that about DoorDash. So let's just be careful, you know, when we're making deliveries, that we're not showing the customer information or anything like that, you know. So we're not, the whole thing about privacy. So I mean, I know some gig tubers, they actually blur people out. They'll blur out stuff like that, and I guess that would be the other way to work around that. So if you're going to pull up to someone's house, you know, and if it's not a live stream, you know, just blur out some of that information, so no one's the customer's privacy is not going to be impeded on. But, you know, speaking of Chuck, you know, at least he's doing Spark now, you know, and it's, you know, that's the reason why Spark is our #1 app to use, because, you know, he even said on that video that the money he would make, you know, doing Spark in that, you know, in a certain amount of time, you know, he would double what he makes compared to when he was doing just DoorDash and Uber Eats. So that's why so many people are, you know, trying to get on Spark. But I'm just glad we were able to last year. I mean, they still have their flaws, you know, but it's still, out of all the apps, you know, and I have 7 apps that I use. Spark is the one app that I really like to use. I mean, like I said, they still have their flaws, but, you know, when it comes to the shopping, I think they are the only app that really breaks it down. Aisle number, what do you call that? You got your aisle number, the shelf, you know, the section, and then the exact modular number, the specific spot in that section. So I think of all the shopping that I've done, you know, and I've done shopping for, you know, Spark, of course, Instacart, Grubhub, DoorDash. I don't think I've done any shopping for Uber Eats yet. I've done it for Shipt and Favor, and Spark is the only one that's that detailed, where they offer 3 bits of information. Other apps might at least tell you the aisle number, but that's it. You know, they leave it on you to find out exactly where it's at. I mean, if they, you know, can be a win-win situation for the shoppers, because if they provide all of that information, then it's, you know, that's just how much quicker we can find that item and, you know, get the stuff to the customer quicker, right? The only other thing that I would, you know, I wish Spark would, you know, update the app to do, is to be a little bit more flexible when it comes to substitutions. So the difference between Instacart and Spark is that I prefer Instacart when it comes to that. It gives you more flexibility, because not all the time does the customer give you substitution options. And so if they don't give you an option, but yet you can see there's obvious options that you can offer the customer, but if they don't give you an initial option to choose, most of the time you're not going to have the ability to offer any substitutes in the app. So even though the customer is asking, can you add this? Can you add that? So that's one thing I wish that they would be a little bit more flexible on, compared to, just like Instacart, to where you do have more flexibility when it comes to adding stuff. But this was just going to be a short live stream. I just wanted to get on here to do the Sunday drive home. And I feel like situations pre-order should be a requirement. Waste so much time waiting on customers responding. True. That is so true. I mean, when it comes to that, waiting for customers to respond, or customers selecting meet the customer, or meet at the door, however it's worded on whatever app, and they don't respond. They don't respond to the messages on the phone. They don't respond to the calls. And you knock on the door and ring the bell, and either they've got music playing and they can't hear, or they're not home. But that is true. I mean, it's only happened a couple of times where I've messaged the customer about a substitute, but they don't respond. And especially when it comes to Spark, the moment I hit review complete, there's nothing we can do. Once we slide that button and hit review complete, and then next and it's happened maybe twice. I would get a message after the fact asking that they didn't like that substitute and they wanted something else. So at that point, there's nothing I can do. I feel like after 5 to 10, I refund. Leave it on. Yeah. Instacart doesn't give us, what do you call that? I know when it comes to Instacart, and I faced a lot of that, where the customer wouldn't be home when we're getting ready to make the grocery delivery for Instacart. But it says it on there that if the customer doesn't respond or anything like that, we can't just leave the order. We actually have to take it back to the store. And I believe it's the same for Spark. Although, I hear different things that, drivers would end up keeping the order. So I don't know. Hi, Caleb. The day was busy. This live stream was just the drive home from our shift. So, but yeah, we had an excellent day for Spark. Our goal is to make a minimum of $200, and we did above that. I think we did just over 250 in about 7 hours. So it was a really busy day for us both, for sure. But it was busy, and it was nothing but Spark and nothing but shopping orders. So I don't know. I have yet to have a situation, whether it be Spark or Instacart, to where the customer's not home and we've kept the groceries. It was always a return to store. So I've never had, and then when it comes to Instacart, for Spark, it was returned back to the store. For Instacart, as long as finally, sometimes waiting 5-10 minutes, as long as, because it does say if you get a verbal or written consent from the customer to leave the groceries, as long as they put it in that message, yes, just leave at the door. As long as they say something to that effect, then I'll go ahead and leave the groceries. Because then otherwise, it's a matter of taking the groceries back to the store. So Instacarts, I've yet to have that issue. On Spark, it's happened twice, to where for whatever issue, we had to take the groceries back to the store. It only happened one time for food delivery. We got free pizza on that one because it was undeliverable. Now in that situation, yeah, you get free food. Yeah, Lexi says that she thinks Terrence took it because, where he was going, so he has a battery pack.
Oh, yeah. We have
Yeah.
many of them.
Yeah.
No, it's not a big
Because she
deal.
didn't know it was taken out of the car.
No,
I always say
probably.
leave it in front of the
Yeah.
door. Yeah. I mean, for the most part, that's what majority of the customers say. But you still get those that say meet customer or, meet at the door type thing, but yet they forget that that's what they selected. But I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. Thank you guys so much for joining me and my hubby on the drive home and just talking and chatting as we did this Sunday drive. You guys have an awesome night, and hopefully tomorrow will be a fantastic start to a new work week. What if they tell you to throw away the pizza? When it comes to fast food, they tell you to dispose of it. They say dispose of it, but you can't bring it back to the restaurant. So, but thank you so much for joining my live. Everybody have a good night. Don't forget to hit that like if you haven't already done so. Appreciate the support. Stay safe out there, please. Get out there and make your money, but just make sure you make it home in one piece. But until next time, adios esta gupa. Bye. Have a good night. Hey, hey Ray. I was actually just getting ready to end my live stream, but thanks for popping in. It was an excellent day. We made our goal, so. But you have a good night too. Stay safe out there. Bye, everybody. Adios.